CINDI in Tennessee. You're up.
First of all, I agree with everything you just said in your last sentence, Jason. That just speaks everything to my world. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to: your family, your friends, your close circle, and the impact you've made. Really. So I agree with you. My question is, when you're talking about the SEALs, you mentioned that you planned for the worst mentality, and I get that. That was part of the job. I'm wondering, did you take that back into your daily life when you came back? Because I don't see the world through those lenses. I see my world always the opposite, very positive. I never think of the worst, but there are those people out there that like to say, well, plan for the worst and think like, I don't do that. So have you kept that mentality, and do you think that is a good way to face the world?
I have, but I will say, I think I'm a little bit of a dichotomy, because I think there's some people who plan for the worst and focus on the worst, and they can't break out of that worst case mindset. So they don't have the ability to be positive because they just have this dire outlook on life. I have the ability to look at these dark situations and do some planning and put myself in a place that hopefully I'm ready to deal with those if it happens. And then I drive forward and execute on the world as it is right now, recognizing that maybe a bad thing could happen. I mean, this is a really dark thing, and I think people think sometimes I'm dark for mentioning this, but I have thought about what would happen if I lost my wife. What would happen if one of my kids was killed or died? I've thought about it. Why? Because that's a horrible ambush, and I don't want to be totally blindsided if it ever happened. I pray that it will never happen. I pray that it will never happen. But I think an overcome mindset is a mindset that says bad things happen to good people and bad things happen to those we love. And if you live in this bubble and say, well, that'll never happen to me, or that'll never happen to my loved ones, you may be totally crippled if something was to happen. Now, once again, you can't live your life in fear. Sometimes some people can't allow their minds to go down this dark path because, I don't know, they don't have the ability to recover from that. But to me, it's a mindset of readiness. But then I drive forward, and I'm thankful for every moment I have. I've started dabbling in the personal defense and survival space. It was something that I taught in the military because I'm meeting so many people that are looking at the world we're living in now. Crime is escalating in major cities. Some of my coaching clients are really scared. One of my coaching clients lived a block from where this Bronx subway shooting happened. And thankfully, she had actually just gone through a workshop that we had ran on self-defense and survival. I'm not teaching people to be a Navy SEAL. I'm just teaching people to have a mindset of readiness and to have a base level of comfort in being able to defend yourself or survive. And I think, once again, that leads itself to an overcome mindset. What is worst case? How do I build a minimum level of readiness where at least I can deal with this situation and I'm mentally prepared for it? And then now that I've done that, how do I drive forward with the life that I'm living right now? Not stalling myself or not allowing myself to drive forward because of a potential worst case scenario that may never happen, but it could. So at least in the back of my mind, I know it's there. I've taken some steps to prepare myself in the worst case. And now I'm driving back on my path to be ready and hopefully to execute all the great things that I want to do, and have gratitude for everything I have right now, recognizing that, I don't know, at any moment it could be gone.
Such a great answer.